going on, all of you gaming legends out there? My name is Tyler, aka Deathly, and this is the start of the American Pokemon Association, aka the APA. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, not only am I returning to the first league I ever was a part of, APA Season 3, then we had APA Little Cup, and now we're returning for APA Season 5. Now, as you guys might have already noticed, your boy is on the wrong side of this battle. We had a disconnect, my capture card is fried, and my replacement did not arrive in time for this match. So, unfortunately, you guys are going to have Dan's perspective, or fortunately, depends on how you guys view this battle. And I'm post-comming for the first time ever. So, hopefully you guys are ready for some shenanigans, as because of the disconnect, I was not able to grab the battle link perspective from my end of things. So toward the end, because we had to recreate, we had like 3 different disconnects. It was an extremely frustrating match, but we did recreate things. So you're gonna notice some things like Megalopony had to re-mega and stuff like that toward the end of the video. But we're starting off and going up against the one and only Dan, aka aDrive. For our YouTube battle to kick things off for the season. It's kind of fitting that my first match of APA and my last match of WBE are both against the one and only aka aDrive. So hopefully you guys are excited for this match. It is returning to USM format. As you guys can see, I'm going to give you the full preview here. So for my team, Dan is going up against me, Trapmaster, bringing his Megalope, his Cobalion, a Cofagrigus, Hydreigon, Volcanon, and a Sylveon. And I decided to try and pair things up and break things apart here with a Scizor, a Hawlucha, a Kyurem Black, Roserade, Umbreon, and Seismitoad. Now, initially I had Jellicent instead of Hawlucha, but at like 1 a.m. before my battle versus Dan, Genius struck, and I was ready. So, if I briefly would go through my sets, it would be very difficult to voice them because I am terrible at remembering what I brought. But, Scizor is my, like, back end wall, like, cleaner at the end of the match. Oh, that. So, let's go ahead and start things off. This is my first post-com, like I said, so I have no idea how I'm supposed to anticipate things. But Dan started off with Megalopony. I was not anticipating this as the first thing that he brought out, so I brought Seismitoad. Unfortunately, my Seismitoad was a offensive Seismitoad. Did not bring the defensive set that I thought I would need. Front office convinced me that a Life Orb Seismitoad would be a better approach. It would have been great if I had been able to get rocks up to start the match. That was my anticipation, is that if I had run a defensive Seismitoad, no matter what had come out against me, I could have gotten rocks up early, which would have prevented fake out switch-ins from Lopunny, as well as just prevented a lot of swaps from his Pokemon and offered additional chip damage, which would have been extremely beneficial for us. But he is going to lead things off with the Fake Out, which is smart. I mean, it's pretty much a free damage, and gives him a chance to Mega and give him that extra ability to hit ghost types. Like I said, I was planning on bringing Jellicent, but Dan does have the one and only counter to Cofagrigus, or to Megalopony in the format, which is Cofagrigus, because of its mummy ability is pretty much the only thing that can prevent Megalopony from just running wild. But basically, because of the fake out damage and the high jump kick right out of the break, we are going to lose Seismitoad, like, immediately. And that is just a no bueno set of circumstances for the Tennessee Trubbish. Oh, I lied. Oh my god. Okay, basically, my overlay is wrong. I just noticed. It is the Seattle Drizzlers that we are bringing. I haven't been able to get my designer to adjust the overlay, for the Seattle Drizzlers, so I apologize for that. Maybe by the time you guys listen to this, I'll have just slapped the Seattle Drizzler logo over the Tennessee Trubbish. But I'm kind of like hurrying to get this done. I'm in my new apartment. This video is supposed to go up in like an hour. I like battled Dan on Wednesday. So it's just been a travesty in terms of trying to get everything situated and set up where I have just like am able to record this and get this up before it's supposed to go live, because it is a quality match and it's the start of the season. You guys should be hyped. You guys should be excited. There are some big things coming. Next week we go up against the one and only John Jr. But back to the match, because I feel like that's what we're here to talk about. You guys don't want to hear me just rant and rave over nothing whatsoever. So against his Lopini, I brought in the, after my Seismithrid died, I got a free swap in with Roserade. Roserade is scarfed in this instance for me with Sludge Bomb, Toxic Spikes, Leaf Storm, and Hidden Power Ground to potentially deal with Capalian. So that is the moveset on our Roserade. Luckily, Leaf Storm did some big damage. And this is the only hacksy thing I feel like that happens in this match. I'm at -2. I had this severe drop from using Leaf Storm, but it does crit Dan's Capalian. And pretty much just forces him into this precarious situation where even though I'm at -4 right now, I still potentially could kill his Capalian with another Leaf Storm. And he is just like in this very, very awkward position, because Capalian would have normally been a great swap here, and a great, you know, anticipating the Sludge Bomb, but I am scarfed, so I potentially could kill this thing. Though at -4, I don't know if I could do, what is that, like a third damage, remaining for Dan, 54 out of 167-ish, like, you know, 28%. I don't know. Somebody in the comment section below can let me know if I'm correct on that or not. But currently we are 5-6. We are in a bit of a deficit here. And I have to tell you guys, it's definitely been a bit of an adjustment getting back into the swing of like having to worry about items, having to worry about nature, abilities, and having to worry about calcing and actually getting a full, like, what is it, 100 seconds a move to, like, literally really just contemplate everything and just put myself in such an advantageous position and understanding of everything that's going on. WBE has not been going well. We are on a 5-loss streak at the moment. Spoilers! So we are like 3-5. Hopefully we do go up against Dan next week. So I think if I beat Dan, I make playoffs is pretty much what it comes down to. But so this is the big move. This is the big move. So I knew Hawlucha would force out Capalian, so I decided to get up behind a substitute. The set we have is Substitute, Swords Dance, Drain Punch, and anyone want to take a mystery guess at our last move here? Because this strat is disgusting. Like I said, I thought about it at like 1 a.m., tossed it into my front office. They're like, dude, this will never work. And I'm like, watch me. I had to Google, had to check some things out. So we're going to go ahead and rock the Swords Dance because I know I'm behind the sub. I luckily outspeed here, and you'll see why I say luckily in just a moment here. Cofagrigus is notoriously slow, and I knew, like, I didn't want to risk a Will-O-Wisp. I didn't really want to risk anything else. And so with our substitute gone, max attack, adamant max attack Hawlucha, anticipating that, like, I knew that I had this entire set of circumstances predicted. Like, bring in Hawlucha on Capalian. Capalian's going to be forced to switch out. He's going to bring in Cofagrigus, anticipating the high jump kick that I'm going to go straight through him, or the fighting move. So I knew I could go into the sub, set up the Swords Dance, and this was the only way I was going to get high enough damage to rock the Fling Iron Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, if this didn't OHKO, I had no answers. I had no answers. There was literally nothing I could have done that would have done damage to Cofagrigus. Once I saw Dan's set, he messaged me after the match. It was a 50-50 chance. So we got the lucky roll, the half roll finally in our favor to actually OHKO Dan here with the Cofagrigus. So as you can see, there's a big pause from him. He's probably at a severe loss for words at the moment. So Cofagrigus is out, and I have no qualms and no worries. So not only is Iron Ball Fling dark damage at the heaviest base power, or the largest base power for the maximum amount of damage, we had the Sword Stance. So with Hawlucha's ability Unburden, in getting rid of my own item, I have effectively doubled my speed and doubled my attack at the moment. So this Hawlucha is an absolute monster at double speed, double attack. My only regret, I mean, you guys will see how this match plays out, but Dan's next move here, well, not this move, but the next one after this. So we go into, I don't have any, Dan now knows my full set, so he's fully aware of the fact that I have no flying moves whatsoever. Not that it really helps him, but I don't have a non-resisted hit for Sylveon. So that's what he decides to bring in after he sacks his Volcanon here. And I feel like I should have stayed in. I should have taken the risk. I don't think I could have killed it from full with a Drain Punch. But I feel like it would have at least been worth getting some added damage into Sylveon here and just sacking Hawlucha, because he does have rocks up, so I do take 25% every time I come in. Or is it less? Because Hawlucha's flying and then fighting, but fighting doesn't resist rock. It's just super effective against rock, correct? I don't know. That whole, like, trying to figure out, like, rock's damage on Pokemon is, like, the most confusing and frustrating thing ever to try and figure out. But this is the standoff here. We are, like, 5-6 minutes away from the disconnect in the match. Essentially, it did come eventually down to the 4v4. So every time Dan and I came back to try and, like, resync things up, you're going to see the battle where, like, it's only 4 Mons brought for each of us. Weird situation, double speed, double attack. Hyper Voice is going to go through a substitute, so there's no, like, normally I'd be like, oh, I could just set up a sub. No. Hyper Voice goes straight through a sub. And so my resisted hit to the Hyper Voice is going to be our Poison type Roserade, which gives us a great situation. Now, the only, like, I hate that he brought Cobalion. Like, one, that did a lot of damage. That's some BS. But he brought Cobalion, so I can't really freely spam, because, like, from this point forward, because I'm Scarfed, like, I would have just spammed Sludge Bombs. Like, I could have just outsped everything and just put in big damage, toxic to everything remaining, and there's just nothing he could swap in that could take the hit. So I'm forced to Leaf Storm, which is really unfortunate because it does put me in a weird situation where the special attack drops at half every single time I use Leaf Storm. So, like, Sludge Bomb would just be this brutal hit, but, like, the second I use one Sludge Bomb, he knows he goes into Cobalion or gets a free swap in. So, I wish I had T-Spiked here. I thought about it. I anticipated that Sylveon would want to know what move I was going to do, what move I was going to lock myself into, so he could know whether he should swap into Cobalion or whether he should swap into something else that could take the Leaf Storm. So, that was a really smart move. If I had T-Spiked, I could have gotten both sets of spikes up right here, which would have been absolutely devastating. But as it is, we hit a Leaf Storm on Fluffy, not very effective. And it does do about 1/3 damage. So some decent chip damage on Hydreigon. And just kind of, like I said, like this situation, obviously I feel like I have control of it. Dan, especially like with the Cofagrigus gone, it's just scrambling for answers. This was a really good move on his part. I feel like I don't know if he had a Scarfed Hydreigon. I think, at least at this point in the match, I didn't know if he had a Scarfed Hydreigon. I think I confirm it later. But he does have the momentum of the U-turn, which would have been great on both Roserade, my Answer, and Umbreon. The only thing that, like, really would have eaten the U-turn Would have been the other 3 Pokemon that I brought in, but one, like I said earlier, like Scissor's my win con. Like, Scissor's priority is the biggest benefit to my squad right now, and I cannot tell you guys enough how happy I am. Like, I wanted to give Scissor a chance to redeem himself. Like, Mega Scissor sucked for me in WBE last season. I just got so frustrated at the fact that everybody would just throw Hidden Power or some obscure fire move that somehow their Pokemon got, even if it, like, should by no means have a fire move. Like, how does Golem get to use, like, Flamethrower and Fire Punch? Like, you guys want to explain that one to me? Like, he's not even, like, hot lava. But, anyway, I just really was at a big loss in terms of, like, so regular Scissor, I'm stupid excited for. That's where I'm at. Like, that's where you guys can see, wow, Tyler really does. He gets distracted a lot. Yeah, that's what happens. So, the, is Dan trying to figure out what he brings in? Dear God, man. Could have gone to the bathroom in this time. Anyway, like, getting to have items on Scissor is life-changing. Because it just allows me to hit that much harder with Choice Band. It gives me a chance to hit that much harder, or like take additional hits. It's great. I think Dan was potentially expecting a Toxic here. I can't remember if Foul Play would have offered Justified here, but this is a defensive status sponge Umbreon. That's kind of what I anticipated using for this particular match, because of Cofagrigus and the potential for T-Spikes, yes, and Will-O-Wisps and stuff. I really wanted to have Synchronize available to me so that I could potentially counter some things there. So I decided to go with a Wish, Heal Bell, Protect, and Foul Play set for the Umbreon. This is the first time I've used Umbreon, and again, I don't have nicknames yet, so if you guys are, you know, we're still looking for themes, we're still looking for suggestions. I am very happy that I swapped into Hawlucha. Like I said, a bit of a waste, because he was double speed, double attack, and he just kind of is going to eat this all-out pummeling from Cobalion. We get rid of its Z move. I'm guessing it was from a close combat that normally would have been there, but somehow, even though it's not very effective, I mean, it's the rocks damage plus the fact that Hawlucha is just fragile as hell. We are going to die here, and so we can just kiss goodbye to our Hawlucha here as Dan knocks another one off the board for me, which is just heartbreaking. Hawlucha, you did so good, Nacho Libre. Even though you only, you got 2 kills right away, man. I'm like making up for the fact that I snaked this from Leo by just bringing some heat week 1 with the full-on beautiful set that is FLING and Sub-Sword Stance. I'm just like, I can't wait to watch Dan's side of this, to just hear him scream like, what? FLING? Are you kidding me? Initially, it was like acrobatics, and potentially Dan brings Bulu, so we could put like a grassy seed, and then we could maybe do it on Roserade if he doesn't. And I'm like, nah, fam. If we're bringing Lucha, it gives us some added speed. It gives us a benefit here, and it does just offer such a nice opportunity for us to, you know, just put some big pressure. I just knew that set of circumstances was going to happen with Cofagrigus, where I was going to have a chance to get behind a substitute, Swords Dance up, and just start praying. Because I could have potentially, I would have to looked at the calcs to see if I would have lived another Shadow Ball. But I could have intentionally, instead of flinging, I could have gone for another Swords Dance, and then being at +4, then flinging, and then from there, the Drain Punches probably would have killed Sylveon, and I probably could have finished out this match minus the fake out support, depending on my remaining health. I think he would have just brought in Lopunny for the fake out support. But with the Drain Punch, like, who knows? He would have had to swap something in on me. So, I don't know. I feel like Hawlucha is just a wild card that I'm very much looking forward to, especially since I could potentially set 2 different forms of terrain with my own Pokemon. Like, I don't even need to wait for the Tapus to be run against me, because I feel like people aren't going to bring Tapus against me while I have Hawlucha on my team, so that's very reassuring. Because the last thing you want is me, like, popping seeds and getting double speed and the defensive boost or the special defensive boost. So, this is where the disconnect happens, I believe. So, I'm just kind of, like, sitting here and waiting because I was trying to figure out if Dan was going to stay in, if he was going to swap. I feel like Leaf Storm was going to be my best play here, regardless of what Dan decided to do, because it's just a nice neutral stab hit. So now we're on my side of things. As you guys can tell, you get to see my perspective, no spoilers. The Cobalion was a great play because it did force me, because if I'd Sludge Bombed here, I would have OHKO'd this thing. So he goes into the Sylveon. We get him under half health with the Leaf Storm, which is just nutty that this thing is just absolutely, like, Leaf Storm hits so freaking hard, and, like, look at the ballsy play I just did here. Look at the play, man. Bringing in Kyurem Black. I knew, like, he wasn't gonna Hyper Voice, because I could have potentially stayed in, so he's gonna Wish Protect. I anticipated this. I was debating going for the Roost, but I decided to Ice Beam. I felt like it was a nice middle ground play to potentially, like, if I had roosted, I don't know where that would have put me. Obviously, would have been at full health. But we do have our Sub-Zero Slammer coming in off the Freeze Dry or Freeze Shock, whatever that move name is. The one that gives me, like, the 200 base power Sub-Zero Slammer. And I purposely tried to make sure my Kyurem was had enough of a spread where I anticipated this exact situation where I would be able to Z-move his Sylveon and actually kill. So, from full health, because I wasn't going to try to get behind a sub, I wasn't going to try to get cheeky. There's the Mega-ing of the Lopunny, like I said. So there's the high jump kick, which is, like, crazy. I think it would have killed me no matter what, even if I had been full health. I don't know that particular calculation, but that does even it out right away. We're back to a 3v3. Dan has rocks up. He had the high jump kick. He knows I'm scarfed here. Again, Cobalion is still around, so guess what I'm forced to do? Leaf Storm it up, people. Which is just so sad, man. Stupid Steel typing, man, ruining all of my fun with Roserade. That's alright, dude. Roserade, we're gonna get you some Life Orbs and some hidden powers, and you're just gonna have a blast. But I knew I wanted to preserve the Scarf. So, Umbreon's pretty much my best counter to his Hydreigon. So, I wanted to preserve the Scarf. I felt like that was a great idea for me because it's the only thing that outspeeds his Lopunny, and it gives me a chance to get some added damage on his Mega Lopunny in order to allow the Scissor to come in and clean things up without having to Swords Dance to finish everything off. So I do Wish Protect here. Dan goes for the Fake Out, I believe. Return. Okay, so I think he was anticipating a swap, or figured that was a nice neutral middle ground play. And I did burn the Protect, so unfortunately, as money as it would have been to protect and then have the high jump kick go flying on through. Roserade does not take a lot of damage from rocks. We still have our Scarf. And now that Cobalion is gone, we can just start spamming the Sludge Bombs. Big damage on the Roserade, or on the Lopunny, which is exactly what we wanted, and that is pretty much going to be how things wrap up here, guys. Scizor is I kept him full health, the priority butte that we needed, and just really offers a great opportunity for us to finish everything out. So, initially I debated with myself, like, I was so worried I wouldn't be able to kill Hydreigon from full, but here's the money. This is why I was so happy I can put freaking items on my Scizor, because we would have died without the Aqua Berry, and now we still get the chance to superpower, and the superpower finishes. That is, oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We take down the one and only, aka aDrive. So if you guys enjoyed the match, please feel free to hit that like button. Check out Dan's content in the description below. And if you guys are hyped for APA Season 5, let me hear you in the comment section below. And until next time, peace out, you sexy, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful gaming legends out there. Take care.